Hello there everyone, this is Mr. Brass, and today I have a bonus episode for you while I'm working on the Nihilism series. I plan on mirroring Tecton TV's series on slavery in the future, but I figure for now I'll use some information I got from a guy I talked to on Twitter named Emery Thrash. Please follow and subscribe to him. Answer for the slavery in the Old Testament is the paper he worked on, and he brought up some interesting points. If an Israelite under the Mosaic law kidnaps a person and tries to sell them, that results in death. But if a foreigner does it, it is okay because they aren't under the law. But the kidnapped person can attempt to run away once in Israel, and by Deuteronomy 23:15-16 could not be given back to his master. A kidnapped slave once purchased could ask to be set free, and it would be possible for him to be released or asked to pay his debt first before leaving. The slave could choose to stay with his master due to loving his master, or just considering being a slave a better position. Someone would typically sell themselves off to become slaves in order to escape death. Exodus 21:20-21 is often used to say that a master could beat their slaves within an inch of their lives with a rod, but there was limitations set in verses 26-27 where basically if you seriously injured them, you'd have to release them. Discipline had to be carried out in a specific way. Also, please note that even free people got beat by rods if they misbehaved, so it's not like the slaves were treated any differently than anyone else in this time period. Children could be whipped with rods by the elders in the community, and even grown men could be as well, so slaves were treated no differently. And for the verse about what does it mean to say that for the slave is his money, which is also found, does it mean that the guy is his property, is someone else's property? Well, no, it just means the slave has a contract where he has a financial obligation to his master, and therefore is his master's money. If the master mistreats him, his debt will be reduced in accordance to the level of mistreatment. If severe, the slave goes free. But what about Leviticus 25:44-46, which talks about how your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you, from them you may buy slaves. And again, only if the nation slaves are selling themselves to you can you do that. You can only buy if they are selling. If God had put in the commandments, thou shalt not have slaves, likely nothing would have happened, as slavery was ingrained into society, and if anything, it would have made things worse. So God decided to regulate the practice in such a way that it practically wasn't slavery anymore, and it would lead to a change of heart later on, which overall would abolish slavery in the future. Jesus didn't speak about it because a slave rebellion would lead to all of his followers being executed, and thus his word wouldn't have spread. So what Jesus did was promote a message that virtually made having slaves, while possible, a dilemma of sorts. Well, that is all for today. This is Mr. Brass saying goodbye and get wise.